If you're over 60, this might be the most practical, hopeful conversation you'll hear this year. Imagine standing at the base of your stairs and feeling your knees and confidence hesitate. That quick hop you used to take 2 at a time now looks like a climb. Here's what most people never get told. It's not just about being strong or weak. With age, we tend to lose certain movement patterns, little coordination habits the body once handled without thinking. When those patterns fade, stairs feel like work. The good news is stunningly simple. You can retrain those patterns with targeted moves that wake up the exact muscles, timing, and balance your body uses every single step up and down. Today, I'm going to guide you through 5 focused movements that rebuild the whole system: power, control, stability, endurance, and confidence. No gym, no fancy gear, and no high-impact stress. Just precise practice that stacks small wins into big changes. And there's one movement, saved for later, that flips a light switch for so many of my patients that they swear the stairs feel shorter. Stay with me. By the end, you'll know exactly what to do, how often to do it, and how to track progress you can actually feel. Before we move, let me outline the plan. We're going to start with a quiet powerhouse that builds the holding strength your legs need mid-step. Then we'll train the slow control that keeps knees happy on the way down. We'll activate the overlooked side hip muscles that stop that wobbly sway. We'll strengthen your everyday power to stand and climb without strain. And then the closer, the one that reboots your push-off and steadiness in a way many people feel within days. Each move has a simple setup, a few cues you'll remember, and gentle progressions so you can meet your body where it is. Bring a chair, a bit of wall space, a bottom step, and your attention. If pain stops you, pause. Sharp pain is a no-go. If you feel effort, warmth, and a mild burn in the right places, that's your signal you're training. As always, if you have a new or unstable medical condition, check with your clinician before you start. Ready? Let's prime the system with the skill most programs skip: holding strength. Picture yourself halfway up a step, knee bent, weight over your heel, body poised. That hover and hold is where many people lose it. We treat movement like it's all up and down, but stairs ask for pauses under load. That's why I love the wall sit hold. Stand with your back against a sturdy wall. Walk your feet forward about 2 feet, hip width apart, and slide down until your thighs are near parallel to the floor or as low as feels safe. Knees stack above ankles, toes point forward, chest lifted. Press your lower back gently into the wall and feel your weight settle into your heels, not your toes. Start with a manageable hold. 20 to 30 seconds is plenty. Breathe. No breath holding. Relax your shoulders and keep your eyes forward. As this feels doable, add 5 to 10 seconds at a time, working toward around a minute to a minute and a half over a few weeks. When that becomes comfortable, try lifting one heel at a time for a few seconds while you hold. That subtle shift challenges your single leg steadiness, the same demand your body faces on each stair. A few quality tips go a long way here. If your knees drift past your toes, walk your feet forward slightly. If your lower back arches away from the wall, tilt your pelvis gently so your waistband flattens to it. Think of zipping up a snug jacket. If your thighs scream at 10 seconds, that's fine. Stop there, shake out, and do another short hold later in the day. Split holds count. You're building isometric endurance, the ability to keep muscles engaged without moving, and that pays off during the stickiest part of stair climbing. For many, the first win is noticing that getting up from a chair feels less sticky. Another win is feeling steadier when you pause on the landing with a grocery bag. This is not about suffering. It's about teaching muscles to cooperate at the exact angle where life happens. Do wall sits every other day or 3 times weekly. Put them somewhere you can't ignore them: a hallway, a kitchen, a corner near your TV. Consistency beats intensity. We'll build on this with a deceptively simple drill that makes going downstairs feel smooth instead of jarring. Let's talk step downs, the unsung hero of knee comfort. Most people practice stepping up, but control on the way down is what protects joints and steadies your balance. Find a low, stable step. 6 to 8 inches is plenty. Stand tall on the step with your feet near the edge, hips square, shoulders relaxed. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Slowly lower your left foot toward the floor as if you're reaching for a fragile egg. 3 seconds down, soft touch, then press through your right heel to rise back up. Keep your right knee tracking between your second and third toe. Don't let it cave inward. Eyes forward, chest open. If you catch yourself staring down at your feet, lift your gaze. This trains the body to trust its position in space. Switch legs after a set. Start with 8 slow reps per side. The tempo matters more than how many you do. If you feel knee discomfort, reduce range or try a lower step. If pain persists, stop and consult a professional. Over time, add reps up to 12. Later, hold a light weight at your chest for a bigger challenge, still keeping that slow lower. What should this feel like? A solid, working burn in the thigh and glute of the standing leg. A sense of your foot gripping the step as your arch supports you. If your hip slides out to the side, imagine a headlight on your belly button shining straight ahead. If your knee wobbles, use a countertop or railing fingertip for balance while you master alignment. The goal is controlled descent, not dropping down, not bouncing, not rushing. 3 counts down, a whisper of contact, then up. Done well, this builds eccentric strength, the kind that lets you set the brakes gradually, not slam them. That change alone can transform the feeling of every staircase, every curb, every bus step. Practice these 2 to 3 times a week, with rest days between for recovery. Pair them with the wall sits, and you're already covering 2 major reasons stairs feel hard. But there's another culprit people don't notice until it fails. The small but mighty muscles on the side of your hips that keep you from wobbling like a shopping cart with a squeaky wheel. Your hip abductors, the muscles along the outer hip, are your body's stabilizers when you shift weight from one leg to the other. Weakness here shows up as a hip drop, knees drifting inward, or that "I'd better grab the rail" feeling. The fix: standing hip abduction with clean alignment. Stand tall beside a counter or chair for light balance. Plant your left foot. Keep your posture lifted, ribs stacked over hips. Without leaning, draw your right leg out to the side, long and straight, like you're sliding your heel along an invisible shelf. Pause for 2 seconds when you feel the side of your hip working, then lower slowly. It's a small, controlled motion, about a foot or so, coming from the hip, not from tipping your torso. Keep your standing knee slightly soft, not locked. Engage your belly gently as if zipping up snug jeans. Aim for 10 slow reps per side. The standing leg will work as hard as the moving one. That's good. It mirrors real life. As this gets easier, add a light resistance band around your ankles or above your knees, and keep the same impeccable posture. Why this helps the stairs? Every step is a tiny one-leg balance moment. Strong abductors keep your pelvis level, your knee aligned, and your foot steady on the landing. They also reduce that side-to-side sway that can make you feel unsteady on narrow steps or when carrying something. A favorite cue: imagine balancing a book on your head and 2 teacups on your hips. No spills. If your upper body leans, reduce range and rebuild quality first. Do these daily if you can. Small muscles love frequent practice. Squeeze them in while the coffee brews, during TV commercials, or between phone calls. Track progress by timing how long you can stand on one leg without wobbling, or how confidently you can step sideways over a line without looking down. As your side hips wake up, you'll notice your foot placement feels more precise on the stairs, and your body rides up with less sway. Next, let's translate all of this into the single best everyday strength test that predicts stair ease: standing up and sitting down without a fight. Sit to stand is not glamorous, but it's a near-perfect rehearsal for the muscle pattern of climbing. Choose a stable chair that puts your knees around 90 degrees when you're seated. Avoid soft, deep couches that swallow you. Scoot to the front half of the seat, feet hip-width, planted. Cross your arms over your chest or clasp them lightly to avoid pushing off your legs. Here's the secret sauce. Start with a small forward hinge from the hips, nose over toes, so your weight shifts over your feet. Then press through your heels and stand tall. At the top, stack your ribs over hips. Don't throw your chest backward. Pause for a beat, then lower with control as if reaching for a fragile chair. No plopping. Think quiet landing. Begin with 3 sets of 8 smooth reps with 45-60 seconds rest. If that's too much, start with 2 sets of 5. As it gets easier, grow to 10, then 12 to 15%. When you can do sets of 15 without strain, try a lower seat or add a 2-second pause hovering just above the chair before standing. That pause builds power where you need it most. Make your breathing an ally. Exhale on the way up, like blowing out a candle. Inhale as you lower. That rhythm boosts core engagement and helps regulate blood pressure. Keep your chest proud, not collapsed. If your knees drift inward, imagine gently spreading the floor apart with your feet as you stand. If your heels lift, scoot your feet slightly back so they sit just under or slightly behind your knees. Aim for every other day training or 3 to 4 times a week. For those with morning stiffness, you might feel stronger in the afternoon after you've moved around a bit. But remember, consistency beats perfect timing. If you need assistance at first, use the lightest touch on the chair or a countertop, and gradually take your hands away as you improve. Track your progress with a simple 2-week check-in. How many smooth reps can you do in 30 seconds? Can you stand without using your hands? These small measures make big progress visible. Now, we've primed your holds, your control, your stability, and your functional strength. It's time for the movement that often produces the first big oh wow moment on the stairs. Heel raises with holds are my closer because they rebuild the spring in your step and the confidence in your balance. Your calves are more than appearance muscles. They're your body's push-off engine and a crucial part of your balance system. Stand on a step or sturdy platform with the balls of your feet on the edge and your heels free. Lightly hold a railing or wall for balance, but don't pull. Rise up as high as you can onto your toes. At the very top, where you can't squeeze any higher, hold for a slow 3 count. Then lower over 3 counts until your heels drift slightly below the step. Pause at the bottom for a second. Feel the stretch and rise again. That top hold teaches your muscles to peak and stay strong under load. The slow lower trains control and flexibility. Start with both feet for 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. When you own the motion with good height and smooth tempo, progress to single leg raises. Same 3-count hold at the top, same 3-count lower, light balance support as needed. There are smart variations that expand your benefits. Toes straight ahead works the whole calf complex. Toes turned slightly out emphasizes the inner calf and push-off. Toes slightly in nudges the outer calf and stability control. Rotate foot positions across sessions. If balance is a big challenge, start on flat ground instead of a step and build your control first. If you cramp, hydrate, shorten the hold, and gently massage between sets. Rest about 90 seconds between sets so you can keep the quality high. Your calves reward crisp reps more than rushed ones. Try doing these after a short warm-up walk or after your other exercises when your muscles are warm but not exhausted. Many people tell me they notice an immediate difference stepping onto the first stair. More pop, less drag. That sense of lifting the floor away from you rather than heaving yourself up is exactly what we're after. Combine the holds, the control, the side hip steadiness, and the everyday stand power, and you've rebuilt the full stair pattern without a single machine. I want to anchor all 5 moves into a simple routine you can repeat. On 3 non-consecutive days each week, pair wall sits, step downs, and heel raises with holds. That's your climb day. On the days in between, Sprinkle in daily hip abductions and a round of sit-to-stands. If you prefer shorter sessions, split the work. Morning stability and holds, afternoon strength and power. Keep the total time around 15 to 20 minutes per training day. Use a notebook or a phone note to log what you did and how it felt. Duration of wall sit, reps of step downs per side, whether single leg heel raises felt steady, and any soreness the next day. Look for trends, not perfection. Are you holding longer, lowering slower, wobbling less? Those are real gains. If a day feels off, dial the range down and keep the technique clean. The body learns from quality, not punishment. And here's a small but mighty tip. Do one mindful step every time you approach a staircase. Soft knee, heel heavy, chest tall, eyes forward. That single cue reinforces everything you're training. Quick alignment checkpoints help protect your joints and maximize results. For knees, track them over second toes on every rep. Wall sits, step downs, sit to stand, and even heel raises. For hips, think tall through the crown of your head, ribs over pelvis, pelvis level like it's carrying a bowl of water. For feet, spread your toes, feel the tripod, big toe mound, little toe mound, heel, and press evenly. For breathing, steady in and out, with an exhale on effort, unless your clinician advises otherwise. For tempo, slow down the parts that matter, holds at the top, 3-count descents. If dizziness, chest pain, or unusual shortness of breath occurs, stop immediately and seek professional guidance. Muscle burn is normal. Joint pain is not your teacher. Adjust or pause. If you have a history of balance loss, position yourself near a counter, railing, or sturdy chair whenever you try a new variation, and consider a spotter for early sessions. If you use a cane, keep it nearby as you practice. The aim is safety plus challenge. Enough demand to grow, enough support to execute perfectly. A question I get often is, what about my knees? They already ache. First, never push through sharp pain. But many knees feel better when the muscles above and below, the glutes, calves, and quadriceps, are trained to share the load. If step downs bother you, make the step shorter, slow the motion more, or start with partial range until your control improves. If the wall sit feels too intense, come a little higher and focus on pressing your lower back gently into the wall. For sit to stands, plant your feet slightly wider and turn your toes out a touch if your hips are tight. If heel raises cramp, begin on flat ground, lighten the hold, and gradually work toward the step. As strength grows, pain often eases because your joints are no longer absorbing all the stress alone. If you have arthritis, these exercises can be adapted to your comfort zone, but check with your provider if you're unsure. Small steps, crisp form, repeat. Think of discomfort as a dashboard light. Adjust the drive, don't smash the gas. If you're finding this helpful, take a moment to subscribe to Senior Vitality Pro, and in the comments tell me either your age or where you're watching from. I read them and shape future topics around what you share. Your stories help me tailor these routines to real lives. Yours. Let's bake in a warm-up and cool-down that take 2 minutes each and make everything feel smoother. Warm up first. March in place for 60 seconds, rolling from heel to toe to wake up ankle mobility. Then do 10 gentle hip hinges. Hands on hips, push your sitting bones back, spine long, just to remind your body how to load the hips. Finally, do 5 slow calf pumps on each leg, holding a countertop. That's enough to prime the tissues. After your session, do a simple cool down. Stand facing a wall, 1 foot forward, 1 back, and ease into a calf stretch for 20 to 30 seconds each side. Knee straight for the big calf, knee slightly bent to capture the deeper calf. Then sit tall and cross one ankle over the opposite knee for a gentle outer hip stretch, 20 seconds per side, light and easy. Finish with 3 slow breaths. Inhale through your nose, long exhale through pursed lips, like you're fogging a window. That breath helps your nervous system settle and signals, Job well done. These micro rituals keep your body happier and your practice consistent. Stair-specific habits amplify your training. When stepping up, aim your weight through the heel of the stepping foot and keep the knee tracking forward, not collapsing in. Lean slightly forward from the hips as you push up, then stand tall at the top. When stepping down, think, lower the elevator, don't drop the suitcase. Soften the knee of the standing leg, lower with a 3 count, and land the trailing foot quietly. If you're carrying a bag, keep it close to your body rather than dangling. It reduces the side pull on your hips. On days you feel wobbly, use the handrail proactively. It's a tool, not a crutch. If vision or lighting is an issue, pause at the top and bottom. Focus your gaze on the next landing, and keep your head level to maintain balance cues from your inner ear. Choose shoes with a firm heel counter and good grip. Squishy insoles can feel comfy but may blur your balance feedback. These tiny choices, repeated daily, turn into steady, automatic habits that make every staircase less dramatic. Let's map an 8-week progression you can modify. Weeks 1 and 2. Learn the shapes. Wall sits at a height you can hold for 20-40 seconds. Step downs from a low step with impeccable knee tracking. Daily hip abductions without a band, sit to stands in 2 to 3 sets of 6-10, and double leg heel raises with holds. Weeks 3 and 4. Add 5 to 10 seconds to your wall sit. Take step downs to 8 to 12 reps per side. Introduce a light band for hip abductions, and add a 2-second hover just above the chair on sit to stands once per set. Begin testing single leg heel raises with fingertip support. Just a few reps per side. Weeks 5 and 6. Challenge range gently. Slightly lower wall sit. Slightly deeper step down if pain-free. Band a touch stronger for abductors. And a lower seat or longer hover on sit to stand. Grow single leg heel raises to sets of 6 to 8. Weeks 7 and 8. Polish. Hold quality at higher durations. Keep tempo crisp and measure your wins. Time a flight of stairs, count handrail touches, or note how many grocery bags you can carry without pausing. What progress should you expect to feel? Early wins show up in everyday life. Getting out of a chair feels smoother. The first step onto a staircase feels more springy. Descending becomes quieter and more controlled, with less knee fuss. You notice you're reaching for the handrail less often, or using it lightly instead of gripping. By 4 to 6 weeks, many people tell me they're less tired at the top of the stairs and more confident at the bottom. By 8 weeks, your pattern is different. Posture tall, hips level, knee tracking aligned, ankles flexible, and calves responsive. It's not magic. It's specific practice stacked day after day. If you hit a plateau, change one variable. Slow the tempo, switch the foot angle on heel raises, add a tiny pause where it feels hardest, or shift the day you do your climb day. If you miss a few days, no guilt. Just restart with the last easy version and rebuild. Momentum returns surprisingly fast when the moves are this targeted. Let's troubleshoot common sticking points. If your knee aches on step downs, reduce the step height and think sit back into the hip of the standing leg. Keep the kneecap facing forward, not inward. If your hips tip during hip abductions, decrease the height of the lifted leg and imagine your pelvis is a full cup. Don't spill. If sit to stands feel like arm day, plant your feet slightly back and commit to the forward hinge. Keep your arms crossed so your legs do the work. If heel raises feel shallow, stand tall, lengthen through the crown of your head at the top, and imagine you're trying to grow 1 inch taller during the hold. Often that unlocks a bit more height. If balance is the hurdle, use 2 fingers on a countertop and slowly take one away for the last few reps. If you cramp, shorten the range, slow the reps, and hydrate. And remember, no move is mandatory. There's always a friendly regression that keeps you training without pain. Your body learns beautifully when it feels safe. Here's a simple way to measure your staircase confidence without expensive tests. Pick a familiar staircase. 10 to 14 steps is ideal. Once a week, with safe conditions and a handrail available, time yourself going up at a comfortable pace while focusing on form. Eyes forward, heel drive, tall posture. Note your time and whether you used the rail, how many pauses you took, and how it felt. Then do the same descending, focusing on quiet feet and 3-count lowers. Over 8 weeks, aim to reduce rail touches and pauses first, then time. Another measure, the 30-second sit-to-stand count. How many clean reps can you do without using your hands? And a third, single-leg balance time. Stand near support and see how long you can hold before wobbling, up to 30 seconds each side. These numbers tell a story. Watch the story change, and you'll stay motivated. Celebrate inch stones, not just milestones. An extra 5 seconds on the wall sit, one more single-leg heel raise, one step down that felt perfectly controlled. Those are the wins that stack into freedom. Nutrition and recovery make your results stick. Muscles adapt when they get the signal plus the materials. Make sure you're getting enough protein across the day, spreading it across meals to support repair. Hydrate. Calves love fluid balance. If you drink coffee or tea, balance with water. Sleep is where your nervous system consolidates new patterns, so protect it. Dim lights in the evening, a short stretch, and those slow breaths we practiced. If you take medications that affect balance or heart rate, be extra mindful with tempo and exertion, and follow your clinician's advice. On sore days, gentle walking, light stretching, and a warm shower can keep you moving without pushing hard. On strong days, enjoy the confidence. Add a rep, hold a second longer, or take an extra flight. The goal is sustainable progress, not one heroic session that wipes you out. Think train to live, not live to train. These 5 movements are investments that pay you back every time you stand, climb, carry, and explore. Let's put this into a real-life scenario. You're carrying laundry upstairs. Before, you'd lean hard on the rail, haul with your shoulders, and feel your knees complain by step 4. After a few weeks of this routine, you hinge slightly forward, plant your whole foot, press through your heel, and feel your calf and glute share the load. Your hips stay level, your ribs don't flare, your breath stays smooth. The basket feels lighter not because it is, but because your body is better organized. Or consider coming down at night with dim lights. Previously, your steps were loud, cautious, and tiring. Now you soften the knee, lower for a quiet 3-count, land toe heel, and the handrail becomes a helping friend rather than a lifeline. That is functional strength. It shows up when nobody's watching, in small, repeated moments that add up to ease. And it's not reserved for the ultra-fit. It's absolutely available to you, starting exactly where you are, with a wall, a chair, a step, and a few minutes of focused practice. Now I want to hear your story. When did stairs last feel effortless for you, or at least not stressful? Was it a few years ago, a decade ago, or longer? And if these exercises could move you back toward that feeling in the next 2 months, which one are you starting with today? Your choice doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be yours. Share in the comments so others can learn from your experience and feel less alone. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take what you learned, pick your first step, and let the next one come a little easier.